I'm feeling good.
Hello everybody and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new. My name is Brianna. I am a certified personal trainer, a big, huge biology nerd, and a registered dietitian to be. We are once again gathered here today for another installment of Personal Trainer Reacts to Beachbody coaches sharing their workouts. Before we continue, if you love science-based health, wellness, and fitness education with some lols along the way and some cute-ass puppies, please hit that subscribe button. I would really appreciate it. Without another second further, let's get right into it. My shirt is a little bit wrinkly, but we're gonna get through it because there are bigger matters afoot. So this first person we're gonna take a look at, we have actually seen really briefly before. I think I mentioned her in my MLMs versus FDA video. She was the Beachbody coach who was very mistaken into believing that Shakeology was actually FDA regulated. She also, in a comment thread on the Instagram page of the Anti-Beachbody coach, told me that I, and I quote, need to do my research. Let's watch. Okay, so she was doing a cluster of exercises, but the one I hate the most, as you guys can guess, is that damn arm swinging thing again. We have seen this exercise a lot of times before. I think in a video from a while back, I had no idea what to call it, so I dubbed this exercise the 2020 because it's just chaotic, dangerous, and just a general dumpster fire. I do want to say, a couple people have tagged me and stuff and said, hey, here's this person doing this exercise, but they're doing it a little differently. Someone actually a while ago tagged me in a personal, I think it was a fitness personal trainer who had no affiliation with Beachbody, who was actually doing the this same exercise. The difference that I saw in that particular person was that she was actually doing it the way that I would do this exercise if I was doing it myself, because one of the key things is she was engaging her core. And that's something that's really important in an exercise like this. I guess I could compare this exercise to kind of like a kettlebell swing, but just like with the kettlebell swing, it's so important to brace your abdominals. The issue with that is, I mean, like the same issue with a lot of these Beachbody workouts. You have the super trainers on TV saying, here, do this exercise, and then you have the inexperienced coaches doing them and like showing them, here's this workout, guys, let's do this. And there's not a whole lot of cueing. Like I said, one of the most important things with an exercise like this is to engage your core, but a lot of people don't know how to do that. So the super trainers who are doing this exercise technically look okay doing it, but I've seen far too many Beachbody coaches doing this exercise, just swinging the weight back and forth haphazardly, and you are asking for a back injury when you do it like that. Anyway, so back to this video. She's doing a thing where she's swinging the weight back and forth with one hand, and then she's doing a few squats, which her squats look like they could use a little bit of work, but they're not the worst squats I've ever seen. I don't know. This exercise is odd to me. She's just doing a lot. I don't really know what else to say. I will now demonstrate for you guys an alternative exercise that's not totally ridiculous and give you some good cueing with it. Here is a kettlebell swing. Alright guys, here I am now doing a kettlebell swing. Because of the complexity of this exercise, I'll let it play through a couple times, and on the last clip, I'll even slow it down to slow motion so you can see. So, how to do this. Stand up straight with the weight firmly gripped in your hands. Keep your arms and elbows relaxed while you brace your core, meaning your abdominals, your back, and your glutes. And you want to squeeze your shoulder blades together to help you do this as well. Hinge at your hips to shift your butt out back behind you. Do not lock out your knees. And then from here, you're going to drive up through your heels and kind of explode up through your hips and let the weight swing up to about chest height. To do this, you're going to have to contract your core a lot more, including your glutes. And then from the top, let the weight begin to fall back down while you're shifting your body weight back to your heels while you're bracing your abdominals and your back. And let the weight return to the starting position. Now, something that I have to say that's really important right here, this is a common misconception about the kettlebell swing. Your arms are not moving the weight. your arms are simply holding the weight, but it's not your arms that are moving the weight. The force of the weight going up and down is coming up through your hips and through your core. That's what's moving the weight. I would say this exercise is maybe like, depending on your fitness level, maybe intermediate to advanced. Obviously, use your best judgment, respect your limitations, and as always, be careful. So this next one we're going to take a look at is a coach that's actually pretty decently high up in the company. Those of you who are regular viewers of Kiki Chanel's anti-MLM videos might actually recognize this person. You know, I wrote that in the script, but I just realized since I'm making more of an effort to blur faces, actually, no, you won't recognize this person. Let's watch the video. So it looks like she's trying to do a single arm bent over row with a resistance band, and for some reason she's doing it flamingo style on one leg. I swear, these super trainers love these weird one-legged exercises. So obviously she's pregnant. This is not an exercise that I as a trainer would have a client do. I'm not saying exercise during pregnancy is bad. Most fitness and healthcare professionals agree, obviously, aside from extenuating circumstances, exercise during pregnancy is perfectly healthy and safe. But even if you're in great shape to begin with, these one-legged exercises while you're that pregnant, in my opinion, are more dangerous. It's because your center of gravity is totally off than what you're used to, and you run a much higher risk of falling and hurting your little fetus. As for the row that she's doing, her form on that is just a little bit f***ed, and that is probably because of the fact that she is standing on one foot. Her elbow is so high that she's almost doing an upright row instead of like a regular bent over row. Now she's working her shoulders more than she is working her back. I will now demonstrate for you guys a standing row with a resistance band. All right, guys, to execute a standard resistance band standing row, I've got my, what I call a handled resistance tube with me right here, or handled resistance band, doesn't matter. Keep your abdominals tight and your elbows tucked in. So you're gonna put your elbows back and squeeze your shoulder blades together to really contract your muscles, then slowly return back to the starting position. And also, guys, I am doing this exercise without the Beachbody control track. So this exercise is actually by the same coach, so we need no introduction. Let's watch. So this looks like she's maybe trying to do a bodyweight Romanian deadlift, but she's also adding an arm bend / bicep curl. But it could also be some sort of obscure mix of a weird upward jab and a flamingo mating dance. Is it a bicep curl? I think it's supposed to be a bicep curl. So chief complaints about this exercise is that it's just way too much. What are you doing? My biggest takeaway from this exercise, I think, is the single leg Romanian deadlift that she's sort of doing. So I will now demonstrate for you guys a bodyweight single leg Romanian deadlift. Okay, so here we are, bodyweight single leg Romanian deadlift. Disclaimer, this exercise requires very good balance. To start, you want to always engage your abdominals to help you keep your back straight and protect your lower back from injury. I like to use my hand to kind of give myself a focal point to help me keep my balance as I lower down. And so from when you kind of have your focal point, slowly lower downward, raising one leg up. The leg that you're standing on is the working leg. And when you start to feel that stretch in your hamstring, slowly raise back up to the standing position. And when you're ready, you can maybe even add some weight like a dumbbell here. So this next person that we've seen before, top coach out there, has a lot of followers. Obviously, I always crop stuff to conceal people's names, but there was a caption up there when I first got this video, and I'm pretty sure she said this program was from Insanity. In fact, I think I might hear Sean T in the background there, which is a Beachbody program. This exercise is insane. I actually like her incorporating a plank and the aerobic step box there, but this exercise is very complex and has a whole lot of moving parts. And somebody who is less advanced than her definitely needs a modification. I will now demonstrate for you all a similar but less stupid exercise. Okay, so this is actually an exercise that I have showed you guys before, I think. This is one that I call plank jacks. It's just like a standard jumping jack, but it gets your abs more involved because you're holding a high plank position. The next clip you see right here is just an advanced version. I've got my feet on a step box. It's not super high off the ground, maybe, I don't know, 2 to 3 inches. I'm not really good at estimating height, but the point is it's not that high and you don't need that much height. If you have issues with being on your wrists like this, a regular jumping jack is a very good alternative as well. Okay, so this very last one we're going to take a look at is another Beachbody coach. In the caption of the video, it says that she is doing week 2 and day 3. I believe this is from the new 9-week Control Freak program. And this one's super quick and it's actually sped up. I did not do that, but let's take a look at it. This exercise is weird. So she's training unilaterally, which remember guys, that means training one side at a time, by doing the single arm row, and it looks like she's kind of trying to sink into a lunge there. What's weird is that she's kind of adding this extra step where she has the weight up and she's pulling back to sit up with it, and then returning back down to do another rep. Her row is actually okay. For her to get more out of that lunge, I wish she would sink a little bit deeper, but as far as that sitting up and then leaning back down thing, I don't know. I don't really know what that's doing, to be honest. It's just kind of adding an extra step. Also, once upon a time, I think I have had those shoes before. They're super comfortable. I will now demonstrate for you a single arm bent over row with a lunge. Okay guys, so here's a great alternative. This is a good, safe, compound exercise. I would call this a dumbbell row with a static lunge. And now that I think about it, this is actually probably not really a lunge. If you're familiar with yoga, this is actually probably more of a warrior 1 position. So we'll call it that. Holding the dumbbell on the opposite side of your working leg, with your chest pointed to the ground, pull the weight up, keep your elbow in, and squeeze your shoulder blade in to contract your muscle. For a real challenge, hold your warrior 1 position until you're finished with your rows on that side and then switch. All right, let's wrap this thing up. I say this constantly and I will never, ever, ever stop saying this. Just because you buy the starter pack doesn't mean you're a coach. Stop sharing workouts when you have no background in fitness. Stop sharing nutrition advice when you don't know what you're talking about. Stop scamming people. Just stop, please. I'm asking nicely. All right guys, thank you very much for sitting through to the end of this video. I really appreciate it. Please like, subscribe, follow me on Instagram, and yeah, that's it. You guys wanna see the dogs now? I think they're in our bedroom right now on Neighborhood Watch. Whoa. Oh, I thought you guys would be doing Neighborhood Watch. Huh. You guys aren't doing Neighborhood Watch. Alpha, sit. Sit. Thank you. Wow. Wow, the attitude. Say hi, Mama. All of our dogs are rescues. Alpha's the youngest. And Alpha just wants you guys to know that she wishes she had her ears, but they were already done when we rescued her. Don't do it. Don't do it. Away from Mama's shoes. Alpha can be very feisty sometimes. Alpha, can you please come here? Mama, hey. Alpha, baby. Can you please come here? Can you please sit still? Can you please sit still? Please. Can you sit still?